The 8 frequencies have called us here. The portal is opening once again.
Then let us walk through it and remember what was never truly lost.
Before the gate opens, the atmosphere leans like the world holds its breath between blue and green. No trumpet, no warning, no throne in the sky, just a crystal tone rising where the old rivers lie. 2 circles upright, 1 motion unbroken, a language with no mouth, yet everything's spoken. The lower loop gathers what pressure is taught, the upper loop carries what courage is wrought. At the cross in between them, the self gets weighed, not by titles collected, but the choices you made. I step where the marble remembers each tread, where the walls keep the songs of the long vanished dead. Not ghosts in the doorway, not fear in the stone, more like wisdom made patient, still guarding its home. The portal does not pull with a chain or command, it creates recognition the body can't plan. Like hearing your name in a dream you once knew, like finding an ocean already inside you. Every crystal around me holds ages and layers, proof pressure can shake without asking for praise. I came for the doorway asked me, what rhythm do you carry when no one can see?
Through the roots underfoot, not loud, not hurried, but certain and true. Emerald is not decoration or shade, it is life writing futures beneath what decayed. Nitrogen moves with no crown on its head, yet every leaf rises from what cannot be seen. The invisible architect hidden in air, feeding forests in silence, then leaving no signature there. That taught me creation need not announce. A sea changes kingdoms without making a sound. Growth is not rushing to tower above, it is reaching the depth that can shelter what comes.
Blue answered next from the basin below, a calm with a spine, a deliberate flow. Sapphire does not mean passive or cold, it means strength that can listen and still remain whole. Water does not argue with mountain or wall, it studies the structure, then reshapes it all. The deepest current never fights to be heard, yet stone keeps the record of each patient word. I watch my reflection, but not for a face. The water exposed every borrowed embrace, every promise I carried but failed to embody, returned as a ripple and stood there beside me. The current remembers
every pattern we choose.
The current remembers.
Then presence arrived with no banner or drum. It removed every distance between me and now. Not yesterday's bruise, not tomorrow's applause, just breath meeting breath without searching for cause. I saw how distraction can fracture a gate, how a wandering thought can abandon its weight. Presence is standing where your own feet are placed, not escaping the hour for a future you chase. The sanctuary widened the moment I stayed. Every color grew sharper, each silence gained shape. What seemed like stillness was movement concealed, 1,000 small worlds becoming revealed.
Resonance followed through pillars and streams, every action returned with the tone it released. A word was a pebble, intention the hand. The circle it made kept expanding through land. Nothing disappears just because eyes move on. The frequency travels after the speaker is gone. So I measured my language by what it could build, not whether it glittered, but whether it healed. I learned every sentence becomes architecture. Every repeated thought is a future instructor. Speak chaos for seasons, then wonder why thunder. Plant peace with precision, watch roots travel under. The realm did not judge us, it simply replied, giving form to the rhythm we carried inside. Expansion came next, but it wasn't escape. Not collecting more rooms just to enlarge my name. The horizon expanded because fear lost control. The sky grew wider when I loosened the roll. I had one old definitions like armor too small. Inherited limits disguised as a wall. The 8 bent the border without breaking the center. Teaching growth is not leaving yourself, it is entering. Every new realm was a chamber within. Every floating world mirrored where I had not been. I stopped asking creation to prove I belong. I aligned with the
Authenticity waited inside crystal glass. No costume could enter, no mask could pass. The mirror did not flatter, accuse, or pretend. It showed where my truth and behavior diverged. I saw every borrowed opinion I wore, every voice I had carried that was never my own. So I loosened the fabric, let false echoes fall. Not to stand empty, just honest beneath it all.
Authenicity's not shouting, this is who I am. It is living so clearly, no slogan is planned. It is heart beside language, intention beside deed. No distance between what you claim and what you see.
The current remembers,
and nothing remains concealed.
Co-creation wasn't a throne to defend. It was rivets discovering where they could blend. No current surrendered, no color erased. Each carried its story while sharing one place. The emerald remembered the language of roots. The sapphire translated what silence produced. The mountains kept rhythm, the valleys replied. The stars stitched their patterns through oceans and skies. Difference became the beginning of art. Not pieces competing, but one living heart. The realm grew stronger each time voices aligned. Not by becoming identical, but refined. A crystal alone can reflect what is near. Together they scatter new colors through air. That was the lesson the sanctuary gave. No single frequency carries the whole wave. Every bridge crossed began somewhere apart. Every constellation started one distant spark. The waterfalls braided the rivers below, teaching even descent has a purpose to know. The sky kissed the forest without making a sound. Clouds carried tomorrow before rain touched the ground. Creation is partnership written in stone. No world reaches greatness by growing alone.
And flow stepped forward without making demand. It never forced open what wasn't prepared. The wind didn't wrestle the branches for space. It danced through the leaves with effortless grace. I had mistaken resistance for proof I was strong, until rivers revealed where that thinking was wrong. Force may win moments, yet fracture the frame. Flow shapes generations without seeking a name. I lowered my shoulders, released what I held, and the path I was chasing began finding itself. The aid did not ask me to conquer the climb, only to match my footsteps with the rhythm of time.
Transformation arrived like crystal beneath. Invisible changes unfolding underneath. No loud declaration, no lightning to claim. Just layer on layer, refining my frame. Pressure became an artist instead of a chain, carving clear windows through seasons of strain. The fractures I feared became channels for light, showing broken and ruined are never the same.
The oldest trees never apologize for every storm hidden inside their rings. The oldest crystals never explain why they still remember forgotten springs. Time became sculptor, stillness became flame, and every quiet choice reshaped my name.
Infinity waited beyond every bend, not endless repetition, continuous ascent. The eight stood upright, neither ending nor start, a living reflection off rhythm and heart. Return was never going backward again. It was carrying wisdom where I had once been. The circle was never a prisoner wall. It invited becoming, then welcomed us all.
Galaxies turn without asking applause. Every orbit fulfilled its unwritten laws. I finally understood what the current had known. Nothing truly alive ever travels alone.
The emerald still whispered, renew what you touch.
The sapphire replied,
let your stillness speak first.
The rivers continued
without seeking reward.
The mountain stood steady,
yet never ignored.
The smallest of breezes, the tiniest seed, because greatness is measured by what others can breathe. The crystal kept writing its luminous page, recording each choice across century and age.
Not for judgment, not glory, not fear,
but so every tomorrow
could remember we're here. And now, so do we.
Not because someone placed truth in our hands,
'cause we became ground where it stands.
No crown was awarded,
no kingdom was won. Worries are coming.
Only alignment
between what is spoken
and what is done. If ever you stand where two horizons meet,
walk with patience, not hurried feet.
Listen before speaking,
observe before claiming,
create before taking,
become before naming.
The portal was never a doorway alone.
It answered the frequency already you're on.
Two circles,
one rhythm,
emerald rising,
sapphire listening.
The current remembers,
and every step becomes part of the song.
The silence silent current never belonged to us.
We learn to belong with it,
Only alignment
between what is spoken,
and what is done. If ever you stand where two horizons meet,
walk with patience, not hurried feet.
listen before speaking,
Observe before claiming,
create before taking.
become before naming.
The portal was never a doorway alone.
It answered the frequency already your own.
Two circles,
One rhythm,
emerald rises.
sapphire listening,
The current remembers.
and every step becomes part of the song.
The silent current never belonged to us.
We learn to belong with it. Only alignment between what is spoken and what is done.
If ever you stand where two horizons meet,
Walk with patience, not hurried feet.
listen before speaking,
Observe before claiming,
create before taking.
become before naming.
The portal was never a doorway alone.
It answered the frequency already your own.
Two circles,
One rhythm,
emerald rises.
sapphire listening,
The current remembers.
and every step becomes part of the song.
The silent current never belonged to us.
We learn to belong with it.
I thought a ruin meant somebody left, till I saw roots stitching stone back together again. Moss climbed a column where an empire once stood. No permission, no witness, still doing what it could. Rain-tapped inscriptions nobody could translate. Each drop found a groove carved before our age. I put my hand near the wall, didn't need a touch. some history speak when you don't interrupt. Look close. That pebble by your foot knew a mountain is home. Got carried by a river, made a continent roam. That grain in the marble or another design. Before pressure taught matter how to answer the time. We call something ordinary when our sight gets lazy. Walk past 1,000 miracles and ask life to amaze me. Maybe wonder never vanished, maybe vision got narrow. We keep staring at the target, stop studying the arrow. Keeps records underneath what you see. Roots passing messages beneath acres of trees. One catches rain, another steadies the ground. Another falls and feeds what will later come out. No applause in the soil, no audience below. Still an entire civilization exchanges what it knows. Tell me, that's ordinary. A seed hold saw kept shirt folded smaller than dust. No blueprint in its pocket, still it knows when to thrust. Knows which way is upward while buried without sight. Knows when winter isn't finished, when to wait before height. Green isn't decoration hanging off of a limb. It's an ancient conversations between breath and stem. Invisible nitrogen moving where eyesight can't follow. Building forests from air while we stare at tomorrow. There are libraries alive with no shelves and no ink. There are answers beneath us before we finish the question. Creation doesn't advertise every secret it keeps. Some knowledge only rises when attention goes deep. Still, it remembers every canyon through the shape that it gives. Carries pieces of mountains miles away from their birth. Writes geography slowly without conquering Earth. Rain remembers ocean when it gathers in clouds. Cloud remembers river when it finally comes down. River remembers gravity follows what it knows. Then returns to an ocean that remembers it flowed. Look at that! Nothing repeats exactly, yet nothing gets erased. Every form leaves instruction in the form that takes its place. A wave dies at the shoreline but rearranges the sand. What disappeared from vision still affected the land. That's a language, not letters, not speech, not a voice from above. Cause becoming leaves evidence everywhere that it was. Crystal gave another lesson without moving an inch. Pressure isn't only damage when the structure can shift. Minerals speak conditions, reorganize the frame. What began without brilliance leaves transformed by the strain. Every facet is a chapter written slowly in stone. Every fracture is evidence of conditions once known. Hold one toward the sky, watch one beam become many. One source crossing structure makes colors out of plenty. Now we're getting somewhere. Maybe world speaking patterns instead of commands. Maybe wisdom isn't waiting in somebody else's hands. Maybe mountains use layers, forests answer with rings. Oceans archive climates, feathers document winds. Maybe stars and old portraits cross impossible miles. And by the time we receive them, they've already changed style. We're looking at history whenever we look at the night. Not decoration above us, but yesterday arriving at sight.
So what else have we labeled too simple to read? What else carries a history underneath what we see? How many sacred equations have we stepped across daily? Because familiarity taught us to call the astonishing basic.
Beneath centuries of dust, weathered at the edges, but its meaning stayed untouched. Ate and lay sleeping where forgotten hands had placed them. Each one held a memory, though nobody remained to name them. Not treasure for possession, not a weapon for a throne. An ancestor made matter, say remember what we've known. That's different. Build something that can speak when your mouth is gone. Leave wisdom in the structure so the lesson travels on. They understood remembrance wasn't trapped inside a mind. You can carve it into symbols and send meaning through time. The figurine said nothing, still the chamber changed. Dust moved from the altar and revealed another age. Faded murals on the walls gained context from the piece. One object turned fragments into history we could read. That's when I understood. The language between worlds isn't foreign at all. It's consequence pattern, what remains when things fall. It's rings inside a tree trunk.
broken stair remembers footsteps by eyesight. Forevermore. So what else have we labeled too simple to read? What else carries a history underneath what we see? How many sacred equations have we stepped across daily? Because familiarity taught us to call the astonishing basic. Alright, beneath centuries of dust, weathered at the edges, but its meaning stayed untouched. Ate and lay sleeping where forgotten hands had placed them. Each one held a memory, though no body remained to name them. Not treasure for possession, not a weapon for a throne. An ancestor made matter say, remember what we've known. That's different. Build something that can speak when your mouth is gone. Leave wisdom in the structure so the lesson travels on. They understood remembrance wasn't trapped inside a mind. You can carve it into symbols and send meaning through time. The figurine said nothing. Still the chamber changed. Dust moved from the altar and revealed another age. Faded murals on the walls gained context from the piece. One object turned fragments into history we could read. That's when I understood. That's when I understood. That's when I understood. That's when I understood. The broken stair remembers footsteps by expect. Yeah, a broken stair remembers footsteps by its wear. Unabandoned bowl remembers somebody gathered there. A bridge remembers distance by the reason it was made. A window remembers darkness by the sunlight that it framed. Nothing ordinary, nothing empty, nothing simply there. Every object has relationships that brought it where it stands. Every landscape carries fingerprints of forces we can't see. Every present is an archive wearing clothes called now to me. So I stopped asking, where's the wonder? Wrong question, I started asking, what have I been too hurried to notice? And suddenly, stone became testimony, rain became return, roots became correspondence, crystal became preserved, years, stars became messengers, traveling after departure, ruins became sentences with missing words, still worth learning in silence. Silence became the space where another link finally had room to enter. Don't call it lifeless, cause it doesn't breathe like you. Don't call it voiceless, cause its language isn't yours. Don't call it ordinary, because you've seen it every rising. Familiarity can hide a miracle without changing the miracle at all. Mountain changed the scale of everything I knew. Its summit caught the lightning, but its foundation held true. I saw valleys in its body where the centuries had pressed. Every bridge another sentence, time engraved across its chest. It didn't need a monument, the mountain was the proof. Fire pushed it from beneath us, what sculpted every groove. What looks motionless from here has traveled farther than we know. Continents have crossed the planet while generations came and went. So stillness isn't frozen, that's another word we misuse. Some movement needs a lifetime before eyes can see the proof. A cliff can lose a fraction and a coastline rearrange. What appears unchanged is rising, maybe practicing its change. Thunder struck the summit, boom! Not gentle, the whole valley answered stone through the impact. Back from wall to wall like hammers, one strike became 100 when the landscape caught the sound. And I heard what happens when one force meets everything around. That's language too. Impact speaks through consequence. Power shows its reach. One moment can keep traveling long after it leaves. Long after it leaves. In three methods, same create corridors divided. Each one held a different record, none of them isolated. One carried mineral veins like lightning trapped in stone. One had roots through broken marble, making ancient halls their home. One preserved the watermark of floods some ages past. One caught sunlight through a crystal and divided it like glass. Green moved through the floor, blue moved through the walls. Not paint, not decoration, something old to join them all. Memory carried growth where forgotten structures cracked. Sapphire carried calm without surrendering its impact. Two different dispositions occupying the same place. Neither had to lose its nature just to strengthen what they made. That's when the eight looked different, not a symbol sitting still. Two chambers joined by crossing, each returning through the middle. Every passage changed direction while remaining one design. Departure wasn't severance when the path they could realign. Where the ceiling had surrendered to the sky. Night poured through the open and no roof between the stars and I. There were constellations burning over raw texture below. And suddenly those ancient walls became a mirror of the glow. Tiny crystal points were placed across the sanctuary floor. Not random, they corresponded with the heavens overhead. Centuries before my footsteps and somebody before the footsteps somebody had looked up. Map fire across the darkness, translated it to dust. A hand that I would never shake and left the thought behind. A mind without a living voice was speaking in the mind. That's the language between worlds, not translation word for word. It's recognition, crossing distance no mouth could ever cross. Someone watched, someone questioned, someone shaped what they discovered. Then another life arrived much later and recovered what they offered. Tell me that makes everything disappear. Then explain the handprint hardened in the clay. Explain the melody and instrument. Remember when another pair of hands discovers how to play. Explain a building holding mathematics from a mind no longer here. Explain the garden feeding generations from seeds somebody planted years before they came near. We leave ourselves in outcomes, that's the part nobody sees. Centuries before my footsteps somebody had looked up. My fire across the darkness, translated it to dust. A hand that I would never shake and left the thought behind. A mind without a living voice was speaking in the mind. That's the language between worlds, not translation word for word. It's recognition, crossing distance no mouth could ever cross. Someone watched, someone questioned, someone shaped what they discovered. Then another life arrived much later and recovered what they offered. Tell me that makes everything disappear. Then explain the handprint hardened in the clay. Explain the melody and instrument. Remember when another pair of hands discovers how to play. Explain a building holding mathematics from a mind no longer here. Explain a garden feeding generations from seeds somebody planted years before they came near. We leave ourselves in outcomes, that's the part nobody says. So I looked at my own footprints differently from then. If the stone can keep an imprint, what am I imprinting? If water carries minerals from mountains toward the sea, what travels from my presence into people after me? If fruits exchange resources where the sunlight never reaches, what am I contributing in rooms where no one sees it? That's responsibility without somebody keeping score. Not fear of being judged, not begging a story for more. Just knowing every contact, not the question to let data ops are working. So we and changing downstream water makes everything disappear. Then explain the handprint hardened in the clay. Explain the melody and instrument. Remember when another pair of hands discovers how to play. Explain a building holding mathematics from a mind no longer here. Explain a garden feeding generations from seeds somebody planted years before they came near. We leave ourselves in outcomes, that's the part nobody says. So I looked at my own footprints, stepped somebody here looked up. Map fire across the darkness and translated it to dust. A hand that I would never shake had left the thought behind. A mind without a living voice was speaking in the mind. That's the language between worlds, not translation word for word. It's recognition, crossing distance no mouth could ever cross. Someone watched, someone questioned, someone shaped what they discovered. Then another life arrived much later and recovered what they offered. Tell me death makes everything disappear. Then explain the handprint hardened in the clay. Explain the melody and instrument. Remember when another pair of hands discovered how to play. Explain a building holding mathematics from a mind no longer here. Explain a garden feeding generations from seeds somebody planted years before they came near. We leave ourselves in outcomes, that's the part nobody sees. So I looked at my own footprints differently from then. If the stone can keep an imprint, what am I imprinting? Water carries minerals from mountains to
sees it. That's responsibility without somebody keeping score. Not fear of being judged, not begging history for more. Just knowing every contact has the possibility to alter, like a tributary and changing downstream water. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, oops, oops, oops.
The universe does not ask who is strongest. It answers those who live in harmony.